Hello, welcome to BackChat, powered by Paywise on this WA Day. Happy WA Day, Dan.
Great, I'm so glad. Wow, what do we do on WA Day? Is it just celebrating WA?
In fairness, so it's a public holiday.
How we
here
carry
in
the rest of the
Western
country?
Australia. Yeah. Look at you and your fucking West Australian high horse.
It's true.
So it's public holiday here in
Yes.
Western Australia.
Yep.
So it's WA Day. But if you look across all public holidays,
Mhm.
none of them mean anything.
Nah.
Like King's birthday.
It's about 7 of those.
I don't think that is even his
Yeah.
birthday.
No, it's
Or is
not.
it?
Just no, and it changes date depending on which
Correct.
state.
So like Labor Day gets thrown around. So
Yeah.
We've got Easter Monday, like whatever. If you're not religious,
Yeah.
who cares?
Easter Friday.
Easter
Or Good Friday, sorry. Yep.
Yes. Like
Grand final day on, I don't know.
so what does WA Day mean? Look, all
Means
it
you're
means
welcome,
is,
Australia.
all it means is it was quick to get to work today.
Yeah, so
right?
quick.
It also means Hammer's playing in a game of waffle
He is.
on a Monday, so he won't be joining us
No,
today.
not at all.
So I'm sure we just lost all of our audience. But
Stay
we
with
have
us though, because
great show to come to you today, but it is a public holiday, so we don't have half our staff.
Yep.
But as BackChat mantra would have it, we've never missed a show.
We
in
never
the history
miss.
of podcasting.
Yeah, we never do.
We had to get
Never
something
will.
to you. So here it is, powered by Paywise. Welcome. Big guest coming up on the show today, David Zita.
Zeta. David Zeta Jones. Should have said that to him before. David Zeta,
Both
the
of
guy
those
who you're
good.
probably following on Twitter that you don't even realize you're following or that it comes up in your feed because he tells you what's happening at the Tribunal.
It's a Tribunal guy.
Tribunal guy. I remember when the Tom Barras Tribunal was going on, and I was on his profile just hitting commander, like waiting for a new tweet to find out if he was going to get suspended or not. So he's the guy that brings you the goods with that.
Yeah, he speaks about what the Tribunal's like. He
Yep.
talks us through what he thinks of the current system and some big updates, Dan.
Wow.
Because
Mm-hmm.
your man Harley Reid has been given 2 weeks and the club is challenging it.
There's some silver lining with the suspension.
Is there?
I was thinking about it over the weekend. I'm really devastated I don't get to watch him play for potentially 2 weeks. And obviously next week we play North Melbourne. It would have been nice to really just ram that in their faces.
Right.
But some silver lining with this.
Vindictive.
Yes. So a lot of talk about Harley Reid and whether or not he's going to go home. You know, eventually, or not home, but he wants to go to Victoria eventually.
He's
in
not
3
going
years.
to Victoria, I can tell that right.
Here's the thing. If now the club gets to show how good they can be looking after him in like a negative situation, in a negative light, right? So he gets suspended for 2 weeks. They bring him in. Like, what do you want to do? You know, we'll challenge it. We'll look after you. Maybe you get to go home. And he goes, man, the Eagles just really look after me, even in the bad times, you know? And I feel like it's a good opportunity for West Coast to show him. And then he's like, yeah, I'm here forever.
Who are you selling this to, Dan?
Myself.
Yeah.
I'm devastated. I just thought at the time, as soon as it happened, I'm like, yeah, he's going to miss weeks.
Well, that's good for you that's what you thought as soon as it happened. I happened to be on national TV
Yeah,
and fucking
was
calling
listening.
the game of football for Fox Footy. And I tell you what, it's been a fun weekend on social media this week for me. People fucking hate it when you stick up for people. So you go, as soon as I saw it, he's going to be missing 2 weeks. I don't think you did think that.
No, 100%.
You thought he was going to get 2 weeks.
No, not 2 weeks. I just thought he was going to get a suspension of some sort.
So do you mean so this is the thing that I'm not saying this is on
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is all these brilliant people on social media giving me my feedback.
When
We've
you're-
got a man here who knows quite a bit about football who's just changed his mind 4 times in the space of 1 minute. Right? So put him on national TV,
Yeah.
see how he goes.
Well, when you're watching the game, are you watching it on a screen?
Well, I mean,
Like,
no.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
as
the
you're
screen's there.
Yeah, but as you're calling the game, you're watching live play. You're not watching because some
yeah.
commentators look at a live play of the screen.
Yeah, so basically what the setup was, and it was new for me on the weekend actually because Pav is in Europe. Matthew Pavlich
Must
is in
be
Europe.
nice.
Yeah, he's in France. He's sent me a photo, like literally all that Eiffel Tower in the background.
That's funny.
And-
When you want to take breaks, you work around the footy season. Pav just goes, mid-season on to Europe.
In fairness, I go to Bali in the middle of the season. We went to Europe last year
It's
or 2
true.
years ago. We
Anyways.
pretty much do what we like.
So, yeah, different setup.
Jeez, you hate Freo. Yeah, and so instead of Pav, it was David King, who was in the Melbourne studio. So basically the setup is you call standing up. You can sit down. There's a table and chairs, but you call everything standing up. So when you're standing up, you're looking at the ground. You got that in front of you, and then you have about 6 different monitors that are like angled up at you. So they're not normal TVs straight up in front because if you're standing up, you can't look at them.
see it. Yep.
So they're kind of like lying on their backs almost.
Okay.
So that's the setup there. It goes vision, stats, vision, and a couple of them are different visions.
Right, okay.
And then on the far left on the weekend was Kingy in the studio. So I've got a direct link to him.
Vision of Kingy.
Yep, vision. Yep.
Yep,
David King is
great.
vision of David King.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
Why,
His
why'd
face.
You,
It's his
so
face.
when I said vision of King, you go
Yeah.
vision of King.
Yeah, you can.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly what I said.
Great.
David King. And so I can see when, and we can point to each other when we want to talk, all that sort of stuff, because he's not in the same studio as me. So there's a fair bit going on in that regard. But what I'm watching when I'm calling is just the game. The vision and the stats are for replays.
Well, because I asked because I'm watching it on I'm literally watching it on a computer monitor, full screen.
Yeah, so you have the broadcast
so I can
feed.
see that I saw his head hit the floor straight away, and I was like, well, that's
Yes.
because I had a close view of it. That's why I thought straight away he was going to get a week.
Yeah, I mean, I get to watch the broadcast feed as well. So like you call the game. Adam Papali'i would be calling play-by-play. And then it's up to the special comment. Like, Paps will go, oh, man, whatever happened. Like, oh, massive tackle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a free kick for Sling. And then producer and director at Fox will then cut to a replay, and then it's Paps will shut up.
Given to you.
I think I spoke first, and I don't know. David King very much he's protect the head at all costs. And he's been talking about that for years. And I'm big footy content guy, know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I might get out of Kingy's way here because this is kind of his thing.
Yep.
So I was like pointing at him, and he sort of went with it. But then he went hard at it, and I just had like a little flicker of feel like defending the player.
Yeah, right.
So then I've ended up going, well, no, it shouldn't be suspended. Not a dangerous tackle.
Yep.
What
else was he supposed to do?
What else was he supposed to do? What's the alternative?
Yep.
Which I think is a good question. Not tackle him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I then had quite a substantial amount of feedback on that, and I was like, I'm going to stay off social. I can't really be bothered reading this. Like, there's people going hard.
Yeah, I saw it.
Going hard, which I believe we're going to bring you some of that later.
Yeah,
on.
we're going to read some of it.
Okay, great. We're going to read some of it?
Yes, we are going to read
Fucking
some of it.
oath. And then I went to a birthday party yesterday, got drunk and started tweeting again, and
always good to do that.
I fired social media back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of the process of what happened with the Harley Reid thing. Where do I sit on it right now? It's probably a week.
Yes.
3 years ago, it is a great act, game-saving tackle play of the day. Where we are now, head hits the ground, protect the head, sling tackle, going to be a week. Do I agree with it? No. What's the actual result of it? Going to be a week.
Going to be a week. Yep.
They've challenged it. We're going to talk to David Zita about that as well.
Great.
But it's interesting to think about why that happened. Harley Reid had 18 disposals in the first half, 7 clearances, which
he was incredible.
Equaled his all-time clearance for 10 games. He's a first-year player. He was the best player on the ground, highest-ranked player on Champion Data. Ross Lyon in a halftime interview for Fox Footy said, we're going to tag him with Windhager. He just said it blatantly.
Yep.
And then he said, we're putting Jack Sinclair behind the ball, and did both of those things, and they dominated. That's what lost the game for you.
It was really disheartening. Like, it's disheartening when Harley was playing such a good half, and then it felt like, not that I don't completely understand the tag, but that it looked like he just disappeared in the second half. But that's because they were putting so much work into him.
It should be disheartening that your best player is a first-year player.
Yep.
That's what should be disheartening to you.
Immediately that's disheartening, but long term, he's that good already that he's getting tagged.
You can wear it as a badge of honour, but basically what it means is a midfielder from the opposition team has completely sacrificed their game to keep someone out of the game.
Yeah.
So of the 3 midfielders, one of them is just purely focused on Harley Reid, and he's following him around and physical and good positioning at stoppage. But like around the ground is then like basically what usually happens is like when a ball leaves a stoppage, then everyone's gone and they spread, and the good midfielders like Bontempelli and Chad Warner and Gould and all these guys can outwork their opponents because you're sort of watching the ball, you're sort of trying to do team defense, and you're sort of watching your player. Whereas when you're tagging, just worried about the player. Yeah. So Windhager's just like, where's Reid? At all times, and that's how you keep. You still
could have had one touch for the whole game, and he would have had a good game.
Still have to be able to do it though. But the reason it's disheartening for West Coast is when that happens to another player, the other 2 mids, no one cares about them. So Elliot Yeo being one of them, I would have expected him to have a bigger game. He had 27 touches, he's pretty good. But usually when you get someone tagged like that, the other 2 should get well off the hook, which didn't really happen.
No, Tim Kelly hurt us in that regard, him not being there. So I saw a lot of chatter on Twitter and stuff like that about West Coast not doing a good enough job helping Harley with the tag. So what does that mean to because like in basketball, right? If there's someone who's essentially getting tagged, they like the way that they play is they bring up their player and they switch on them and they make sure that they're guarding someone else. Then, so is that sort of what happens in tagging with footy?
Yeah, same thing, but there's a few different elements. So stoppage, around stoppages, you know, you can do a block. You see that happen all the time. Right?
Yep.
That's the switching of players, and you can be physical in that regard. But tagging is more after the stoppage. Like, very difficult to tag really good stoppage players because they're going to get it anyway. You can't hold. You can't be hanging on to them, all that sort of stuff. It's around the ground, and that's where you can help. So blocks off the ball, like, you know, 30, 40 metres off the footy, getting the body in and then letting Harley run.
Yep.
Every teammate he runs past, they should be putting a block on Windhager.
Yeah.
Didn't really see that.
Even just like little nudges they go
Little
past
nudges. Make him run around, let Harley run a straight line, put your body in front of him.
Yep.
No, not anything over the top like free kicks or anything like that.
Yeah.
But then offensively, you can look after a tagger by just feeding them the ball. Let him run around the back for a little handball, little shitty handball that they shouldn't usually get.
Right.
Give it, put a block on.
Little
hit up marks.
Is the thought with that if they just keep getting the ball, then they'll drop the tag because it's not
No, it's just you got it. Like the reason they're tagging is like to stop the ball getting in the hands of that player.
Right. So they just make it easy to get it in their hands.
Get the ball in the player's hands.
Right. Instead of having to win a contest.
Correct. You lose the ability to win your own ball, basically. Yep. So you got to feed them.
There you go.
So that's how that went down, mate. I think it'll end up being 1 week.
Let's hope.
At the end of it all,
I saw. I screenshotted it somewhere. I think I've got it here as well. The amount of money that game could have cost Harley Reid. It was it seemed quite significant. It says this is from John Ralph.
Ralphie.
Final bill from the game is $53,750. Rising Star prize money, which is I think about $40,000 or something. Okay. Contract clause for 2025. $10,000 in match payments. 2 umpire contact fines. And get paid.
What did he hit umpires twice?
Yeah, he was. I think he was on report for 4 different things.
Fuck off.
And so yeah, that game could cost him $53,750. Like, I mean, the Rising Star bonus is a big.
Yeah, it's not a cost, is it?
No,
it's revenue not earned.
Exactly, but that's just a fun way. Well, not a fun way, but a brutal way of looking at it.
Does that seem like a lot of money to you?
53,000.
Does it seem like a lot of money in one day?
Absolutely. That's my year's salary.
I would argue that the 40,000 for winning it is just like the beginning too.
Absolutely.
It's always Harley Reid, NAB Rising Star.
Yeah, he'll win the Players Association Young Player of the Year, whatever it's called. That's more important.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Look, we had a bit to say about this on the Shelter Footy Cast earlier today. Mark Redding's always working, hardest working man at football. And myself broke down the Harley Reid suspension and also what it means for the Rising Star and whether the best and fairest element should be there, like the Brownlow. Let's have a listen to what we did over on the Shelter Footy Cast. The biggest story out of the weekend, Harley Reid and Sam Darcy, mind you.
And the Dockers winning from a WA perspective.
Absolutely. Yeah. Huge game from the Dockers. So we'll get into the Dockers and go through that in a little bit. But I think, league-wide news here. Sam Darcy and Harley Reid, unless they, appeal and they get off, which both of them may, but I doubt either of them gets off, they're ineligible for the Rising Star. They were both almost unbackable favourites. First of all, Sam Darcy was second favourite, then he got injured, reported. Harley Reid then becomes an unbackable favourite, gets reported himself. You're at the game, you're calling, as was I. How did you see the incident for Harley Reid?
Well, as soon as it happened, I was a bit unsure of what the implications would be. Fortunately, Wilson got to his feet and played out the game, which it just shows you what the action as opposed to the result of that action means. And I know you were going on instinct and you probably were a little less likely to say automatic suspension. I thought, to be honest with you, okay, his head's hit the deck. The way he put him to ground, I thought there'd be a 1 week penalty with it. I'm not surprised they've gone in that path. I don't think you are really either, are you?
No, I'm not. So, as you know, skate commentating, you either get it right or wrong, and you only get one chance at it too. So my first reaction was, I think probably like, I don't want to say biased, but I sort of watch and I go, well, I don't want him to get reported. So I think my first reaction was like, well, how do we sort of talk about this in a way that it might not get off? And then I doubled down on social media, which gave me a fair bit of feedback, which was good. But
you get a few free character audit, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you live and you learn, though. But I don't really care too much about what people got to say to me or about me. But, look, the incident overall, do we think as a football community, and I mean everyone here, do we think that should be 2 weeks? Does that feel right? It's like the holding the ball rule. Are some of these ones we're seeing. Should they be holding the ball? Should this be 2 weeks? What does it feel like to you?
The landscape's changed so much since the start of this season. It is, but
take the rules away. You've been watching footy for a long time. What do you think that is worth?
I think it deserves a penalty given his head hit the deck.
1 week.
That's just me. Just given, and even the extremes. I mean, 2 weeks going back in time, and not that long ago, 2 week penalty was something that was a medium level. Which have you ever suspended for 2 weeks ever?
Well, when I feathered Clayton Oliver and then I got off, got that completely reversed at the tribunal, so that was a 2 weeker.
Yeah, so
I actually got a 2 week for punching Jack Raywald as well.
What did you get for the headbutt?
1 week.
Okay, so there you go. So just checking. So the headbutt versus the tackle we saw. I mean, I guess the bigger issue here, I think Harley got a little bit sucked in, or certainly learning the craft of dealing with taggers and Marcus Windhager, what he did to him. And I reckon Ross Lyon and St Kilda made a conscious effort to really make Harley earn every kick he had on the weekend. So that was the end result, or part of the end result was him, whether it's frustration or just a bad technique. I can't find fault with him being suspended. I would have thought 1, maybe 2, but because Wilson played on. But yeah, they might challenge, but they're not going to get it wiped.
We, and me specifically, I've been really strong on action over outcome. So, if Wilson gets knocked out and he's doing the cockroach on the ground, we'd probably be going, there's a 3-4 weeker. He plays on and he gets 2, but we should be just looking at the action. And look, there's a lot of factors to it. It happens very fast. There is a slinging motion. I don't think there's 2 actions. I think at some point, if we take our eyes off this incident in particular, but still using this one, there has to be some sort of responsibility on the person getting tackled or bumped. And we spoke about it with Matt Crouch, I think, a few weeks ago, with your technique in picking up a ball. And if you get hit head high, if you go in leading with your head, there has to be some responsibility. I think with this one and with others, if you elect to take someone on, especially like this in a one-on-one situation, you can't expect not to be tackled aggressively if you're trying to step someone inside like Darcy Wilson was doing. You can expect to have your head protected, but I think there has to be some sort of responsibility, because if 5 years ago, Skeeter, that happened, we'd be saying play of the day, wouldn't we? Yeah. Play of the day, great aggressive tackle, strong tackle, turnover, holding the ball. Because was it played holding the ball, or was it a sling tackle? It was played a sling tackle.
Exactly. And you're saying, exactly, pertinent point, 5 years ago, even 2 years ago, 3 years ago, probably the last couple of years it's come into vogue. Look, I don't think Harley's got a leg to stand on. I know you're saying it's the job of the player in Wilson's case. You
should expect that tackle's coming.
But the final action of it, could he have released that tackle before he did? I mean, that's the motion they're talking about. I didn't sense it was a double action.
No.
But the speed
of it.
The speed and the end result was not a great look, I don't think, for Harley. And I don't think they'll be challenging. As I say, at the time, I was oblivious to the fact, or wasn't across even thinking that, this could be the end of his Rising Star nomination, because, of course, it's just like the fairest and best. It begs the question, what constitutes now the penalties, and maybe it extends to the Brownlow with regards to eligibility for awards?
I think we need to have a good look at that across the board, just because of the way we're treating these incidents now. I don't think players know if they're going to get reported or not. I don't think they know exactly what they can and can't do. There's a real sense of uncertainty speaking to players around the league. And if that's the case, I think it's putting into jeopardy these awards, the Brownlow, the Rising Star. If you get reported for something that's effectively innocuous, but someone's hit their head and you get a week, and then you lose a Brownlow medal for it, do we want to? I don't think, and again, I use the word footy community. I don't think that feels right to me.
Did it feel right that Patrick Cripps won the Brownlow medal under the circumstances he did? This is just an argument. When Archie was taken out under the rules, and I think the AFL was probably at fault with the way that played out. But that's a sort of the analogy of trying to line it up.
To answer your question, it would have felt wrong if he lost it because of that, I think. So I don't know if it's right because he won it, but if he had it stripped from him because of that incident, which would...
But should he have been suspended in your mind?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
But he shouldn't have lost the Brownlow for it. So I think we need to remove that element from it.
Yeah, it's a decent argument, I have to say.
Because how long's the Brownlow been going for?
Well,
long time, right?
Long time. So the action you're thinking, if you punch a bloke, yes, or you jump out off a Jimmy Webster style, cop it sweet. But you're right. In those
Some of these
circumstances,
footy actions.
they're hardly They're hardly in with the intent of causing the damage that they do.
Right, there we go. Skeeter and me getting into it, breaking that down. I think we've covered that within an inch of its life.
We'll find out tomorrow what happens.
Right, but you care. You're going to be watching along.
Yeah, I'll be watching. I'll be refreshing David Zita's Twitter feed when it's all happening on Tuesday.
Well, good. I think it might be time to speak to him right now. Thanks to our good friends at ID Athletic, idathletic.com for all of your merch. Dan and I are absolutely blazoned in merch at the moment. ID Athletic made it all. If you've got a team, if you've got a school, if you've got a work crew.
Oh, yeah, true. Work uniforms.
Absolutely. They can print, they can sew, they can do it all. idathletic.com. What, embroidered? You want me to say embroidered? Okay. They don't have a shipping container full of sewers. No.
Hand sewing. Yeah.
Good friends at ID Athletic bring to you today David Zeta, the man from the Tribunal. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In this public holiday, Western Australia, we're putting a few interviews together before the fact, Dan. We've
still
been
grinding over here.
Open and honest. Well, this man's still grinding. Not a public holiday. David Zeta, Fox Footy, Fox Sports, very own. Look, I don't know what sort of title you're rolling with now, Dave, like Tribunal expert, Schnit connoisseur. I don't know where you're landing with it all, but thanks for being with us on BackChat.
It's Schnitz, not Schnit. You get a. If I say it 600 times a day, you fear you at least read one of my tweets, but that's okay. No, I don't know what the role is there. What's your public holiday for? Why do you? Why do you?
WA Day.
WA Day. Celebrating
WA.
Western Australia.
Right. Do we get one of them? I'll figure it out.
I think it's Labor Day, or I don't know what
you get one of the grand
okay.
final.
Yeah.
So we still have to go to work for that.
You didn't get the public. Oh, it was COVID, so that's why there was. You didn't get the public holiday for the grand final, did you?
No.
There was a bit of chat for it, and of course everyone wanted it, but then they couldn't pull the trigger. So classic WA.
Yeah. So you've woken up Monday, and apart from having a chat to us on BackChat, you've. It seems like you've fallen into this role of tribunal connoisseur.
Yes.
I don't know. Is that a good way to put it? I mean, you're the man to go to for what's happening at the tribunal these days.
Yeah, no, it's certainly become quite the niche, hasn't it? So if they ever change it, I'm a bit cooked. My whole brand's out the window. But while it is, I'll just enjoy the ride, I guess. But yeah, I've sat in many of them for the last. I think I've sat in all of them for the last couple of years. So I don't know if it's a job you would grow up dreaming of, but it's the one I've got.
Do you go to the tribunal? Do you actually get to sit in
it's all. I went to one way back in the day with Basher Hooley. I think it was when he hit Jed Lamb, and it was that one that was the controversial. But I was doing it because I was an assistant producer, or like it was basically Damo's little helper on the footy show. So I went to sit at Marvel Stadium with Damo, and I was so excited because I'm like, I can't wait to go to a tribunal. Like everyone talks about it, let's do it. Like they should be televised. And then I think about 10 minutes in, I thought, oh, I don't like this. This isn't very good. It's quite boring.
Zeets, do you know?
Not much has changed.
Do you know what tribunal case was held directly after the Basher Hooley case? I mean, we've just spoken about something off air that you didn't remember.
It's not involving you, was it?
Clayton Oliver v. Schofield. The feathered elbow was directly after Basher Hooley because I had to sit in Perth in a room watching the Basher Hooley case.
So you had to watch that thing unfold. That was it was marathon, wasn't it?
Absolutely was. Yes.
And then they appealed it. What happened in that one? Did he do something to you, or did you do something to him?
I feathered his
right.
chin, and we successfully defended. Got 2 weeks down to 0. Zeets.
Oh, so did you get a fine, or you with no suspension?
0. No
fine.
case to answer.
Wow.
No case to answer, boys.
That's good.
You like that wouldn't happen these days, David Zeta.
Well, I guess we've had 12 tribunals this year. I think AFL ones. We forget the VFL one, of course. The quick detour there. 2 out of 12 is the success rate, I think. So they're not great odds.
And one of them was being a good bloke, wasn't it?
One of them was a challenge that succeeded, even though the charge was upheld. They just changed the sanction. Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think
makes
one
sense.
thing people lack is clarity around the tribunal at the moment. But let's have a look at the big issues this week. Harley Reid over here in the West is clearly a big one. Riley Sanders will be there as well. So you've got a double knocker. Tell us
Riley
what's going.
West.
Sorry, who did I say? Riley Sanders.
Riley Sanders.
Jeez, he'd be feeling unlucky. He's shot up. He's shot up the board in the Rising Star odds on the back of
Yeah.
Sam
They're
Darcy.
suspended, aren't they?
Yeah, correct. So.
Can't go near it.
Look, what's going to happen here? Our audience would like to know, is there any chance, one, of him fully getting off, or are they just going to try and get it from 2-1 West Coast?
Well, my understanding is they're just trying to get it from high impact to medium, which would be one match. So he's still ineligible for the Rising Star, misses against North, and then would obviously have the bye, and then be back against the Dons at Marvel Stadium. So I think that's what they're aiming to do. So it doesn't seem like they're trying to get off the charge completely. So the best case scenario is 1. Worst case, he misses 3 weeks, including the bye. So that's where it sits at the moment, I think.
Do you have a gut feel on that? You've seen plenty of these going from a high to medium. Is that something that can happen pretty successfully?
Yeah, I haven't seen many high to mediums. I've seen lots of medium to lows or just throwing it out entirely. I haven't really seen too many of the high down to medium because it's sort of that middle ground between medium and severe. You just normally get one or the other. I think he's got a pretty good chance in terms of downgrading it. Because I personally was a bit surprised by the high impact as opposed to the medium. I can understand why the MRO would have landed there. You got it's about the extent of the excessive force and the potential to cause injury. They will get taken into account. I think it's a dangerous tackle. I just think he's slung with excessive force, which is part of the dangerous tackle grading. So that's what constitutes one. So I think the charge is right, and I just think the way the guidelines are written, they just would have had such a hard time. We've seen clubs now publicly say, we consulted with lawyers, and they just said it's so ridiculously hard to get out of these charges that you almost just have to try and downgrade as opposed to overturn completely. So I think I reckon he has a good case to get it down to 1. I think he does.
Can I just say this just shows how cooked the system is that we're debating if it's high or medium. There's no actual line that it's just an eye test really of going, oh, that's high impact, no, it's more medium. It just seems it's the same with the the gradings of teams. Some get a B plus, or maybe it was closer to a B. What are we doing?
You having a crack at the Fox Footy report cards?
Wow, I was like, what's just happened there? You've just gone from...
Come on here out of good faith, and you've just had a crack at Ben Waterworth and Max
I would
Lawton
love to
upstairs.
sit in the room where they debate over whether something was a B or a B plus.
Dan's taken a turn down nasty lane there.
I've been blindsided here. I've come on and I've blindsided by BackChat because that's unacceptable.
Sorry, that's been a bee in my bonnet for a while.
Clearly.
But who cares? It doesn't affect your life or the team.
It does, because I'm like, no.
It doesn't matter.
Team's better than
anyone's
that.
life. It's just a grade. It's a non-existent thing that we make up. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter.
That's what it feels like with this whole system. Anyway, sorry, let's just get off my chest.
Sorry, that's all right. Any other? We do the report. We do talking points. Do you like talking points on Fox Footy?
I personally like all the content that comes out.
Oh, I like
I
all of
think
it.
it's
I just
good.
don't agree with some of it.
3-word analysis. Max Lawton does that in about 3 seconds. He's great.
Yeah, very good.
All right, so
Anyway.
Harley Reid, what about is anything happening with Sam Darcy? Are they?
No, they're
They
not
come up-
challenging that. So he
Right.
misses 2. Yeah, that's an interesting case. But I mean, ultimately, again, the guidelines are written that you don't really have much of a leg to stand on if you turn and elect to bump, even if it's in a contest. It's just the guidelines are so stringent on if you do this, then you are responsible for that. So once you turn and don't look at the ball, you're in strife. That's basically what it's like. And Riley West did that too with Jeremy Howe, with the thing he's charging, but it was very glancing contact. Jeremy Howe obviously felt like it was pretty significant. I'm not going to tell him how to feel, but that's also an interesting case, I think, tomorrow night.
So you've built I would say, a high-level understanding of what's happening at the tribunal. Do you have any opinion on how we could do it better, or do you think it works well now, or do you just report what you see and you're happy just to stay out of opinion-based stuff?
I'll leave that to you, Schoey.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I'm sure there are things that can be done better. I don't think they need to go for 3 hours.
Yes.
That's probably ideally they wouldn't start at 5 and finish at 8:30 p.m. to decide if a bloke's missing 2 or 3 weeks of football. But I mean, that's just their legal. No one's ever gone, geez, that legal hearing was quick. Like they're not. They don't go quick. Any legal hearings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe I know some people seem to have issues with the, the grading, the way things are graded. I think maybe that's. But that's. I mean, the MRO is only working within the parameters that he and the people he speaks with at the AFL have. So I mean that maybe you change the system, but like in terms of the way it works now, I think they do as best they can with the system that's there. It's just that sometimes the MRO will think one thing, and then the tribunal will go, "Oh, actually, maybe this," and then they're not always going to agree. So that's why you get some differing initial sanctions, and then they ultimately end up with different outcomes. That's why you get a Charlie Cameron dangerous tackle, but then all of a sudden the tribunal, actually, his record comes into account. Like the MRO doesn't take that into account. The MRO goes, the action itself, let the tribunal do the rest of that stuff. So I think that's just make it shorter. Like it doesn't need to be. And don't televise it. Don't televise it. You don't want that. I'm telling you.
Is that right? Some people think they do. So
no,
you
they
reckon
do.
no?
I was one of them. They don't want it. I'm telling you, they don't want it.
Why?
What? It's a legal hearing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, but like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case, I watched so much of that.
Yeah, but that's Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. It's not. I mean, right?
Yeah, but if it was like Harley Reid, I'd watch.
Harley Reid's probably a Johnny Depp level over there, but I mean, it's not. Amber Heard, like the Novak Djokovic, even the Novak Djokovic thing when he got deported, which is still amazing to say, the defending champion.
Yeah.
Like that was the defending Australian Open champion got kicked out of the country before he was able to play in the
It was
tournament.
in jail. It was in jail.
He was put into
Holding.
what was he put into, like a
Detention
quarantine
center.
hotel or something, wasn't
Detention
it?
center.
Yeah, he booked out a nice, massive 2-story apartment. He was staying at somewhere else, and no one could give him food or anything. Not great, but for world number one,
Talk about things that have been grinding gears. This happened 3 years.
No, it's just a weird. It's just so amazing to say the world number one was deported before playing the Australian Open, and he went and trained at the ground at the court, and then the next day got kicked out of the country. It's just bizarre. It's just weird to say. Anyway, even that, with all the hullabaloo around that, it was boring, the actual court case.
Yeah.
Like, they're not fun. The storyline around it is fun. The court case itself is incredibly bare bones, incredibly 2.A subsection C says this, therefore this does this. They're the same arguments every time. It's just applying to different players for different acts. They're the same rules. It's not. I'd love to broadcast one just so you can see it.
Yes. Yes.
Because all you'll need is 10 minutes.
Well, I only think of mine with Clayton Oliver, and I think it would have been good to watch. Like, it was fun. Mine was funny. Like, David Grace was.
David Grace was good fun.
Mate, David Grace, his printer wasn't working at work, and so he was. We spoke to Brett Roseberry on BackChat about it, and Grace, instead of the colour printer with like A3 pieces, he had like A5 pieces. They were smaller than A4, and it was black and white and grainy, and so like, you couldn't see the pictures. And he was like slamming them in Brett Roseberry's face, going, "Can you see an elbow making contact?"
It's like Bigfoot or something. You need to go in his face.
Can I?
Very odd. Yeah.
Can I finish off with this one, mate? You've been really generous with your time. So the Charlie Cameron one that I flippantly talked about with the good bloke clause. Tom Barras went to the tribunal the following week, and West Coast effectively tried to argue the same case, and it failed. How did you see all of that? Because that from afar, that just seemed
some
ridiculous.
of the quotes that came out were hilarious.
Yeah, probably from you.
I think the issue with what the tribunal did with Charlie Cameron is, it was such a specific case in their, or exceptional, compelling in their view, but they'll do that and then they won't actually. But it's such a tiny loophole that they won't. People will think, all right, well then that means that it should be able to get off again, and then it just doesn't happen. I think I wrote at the time, like, the issue is clubs are going to start doing this now. They're going to say, good bloke, done this, done that, hasn't been suspended for this long, does this in the community, and it won't work because they just won't. It won't happen again. So that's why it's really frustrating when they almost make a rob for their own back when they're doing that stuff, because it's so singular and it's so out of the realms of what you're used to, that, and the fact that it's not going to happen again, that's why people get confused. I wasn't confused at the time. I'm like, this is going to be. I was shocked that he got off or got the sanction downgraded despite having the same charge. But then I was like, they're going to not do this again, and people are going to get annoyed about it. And that's what's happened. So just don't open Pandora's box when you don't need to.
So
would be my thing.
When's the tribunal kicking off? Tomorrow?
I think it's normally 5 p.m. Vic Bias. It should be 3 p.m. your time. I think. I don't know if it's I don't know if Harley's first or if Riley's first. I feel like Riley might be first because you guys can wait up a bit longer.
Save it for the crescendo for later on, mate. We'll be following your tweets with bated breath. I'd love a little back chat, like not a shout out, but a sledge. No, like a sledge. I'd like somehow.
You copped one the other week on Meteorica. That was good sledging.
It was. I'm all for sledge. Like I'm very much. Good. I live in sledge land. It's great. So
but we're very sensitive in the media. We don't like we say we're fine, and then a lot of us get really sensitive. And we're like, oh, I'm actually. You shouldn't say that. That's what we get. We take ourselves too seriously.
The slight comment about the report card, you sort of
I'm like I hate you now, and I won't talk to you again. And you can get nodded. So you get an F. Good. You get an F in my report card after that comment.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
David Zeta, Fox Footy. You'll be absolutely hunkered down. Enjoy your schnitz tomorrow night, mate.
I can't wait.
Thank you very much for your time. Good man.
Hi, I'm Will, and I'm a backman.
Hi, I'm Gov, and I'm a Paywise ambassador.
And you're a backman.
And a Paywise ambassador. And a lot of people are always asking me what a novated lease is about.
What exactly do you tell them about, mate? Spoiling, winning premierships, all Australians, mate. It's all you're good for. You're a backman.
Yeah, and more. Schoey, you're a big dog in the media now. Arguably the biggest in Australia, if you ask yourself. I've spoken to a lot of Paywise customers, and I'm a man of the people.
Is that right, man of the people? What do you speak to the customers about? Your All-Australian jackets you won while I was playing on your man in the back line?
I wouldn't even know where my All-Australian jackets are, actually. But I do know the best way to get a new car is through Paywise Novated Leasing.
Is that right?
Guaranteed.
Tell you what, champion, you sound like you know a lot about novated leases. Tell me all about it.
Well, novated leases allow you to pay for your car using pre-tax income. So you pay much less tax and save heaps of money.
Save heaps of money. Now, it's all starting to make sense why Moneybags McGovern wants to get involved.
No, I'm serious. It does not matter how much money you make. Novated leases from Paywise allow you to make one payment each payday. And that covers your vehicle finance, insurance, registration, fuel, servicing and tyres.
You know what then, mate? You better tell Maddie then, because she runs all your bank accounts, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. And as you know, Schoey, happy wife, happy life. We made it. There's a calculator on the Paywise website that shows you what the costs are based on the type of car, your salary, how much you drive. Check it out and find out how much you'll save with Paywise.
Does the calculator calculate how much of your contract you're going to have to give to Harley to keep in the club next year?
No, it depends how his back holds up, because I've been carrying you for the last 10 years.
Okay, righto. Well, we're backmen. We love Paywise. If you want to find out more, contact Paywise today about novated leasing. Any danger of you actually letting your lines, big fella?
I am a backman, not a lineman, a backman.
We know.
Yeah, I know. We all know.
Thanks again to our good friends at Paywise for powering the podcast this year, and to ID Athletic for bringing us David Zeta. I thought it was a pretty bloody good chat.
So good.
You don't get to see personality in tweets.
No, you don't. And I do regret sort of going hard a bit at him with the Fox Footy report card stuff, which I did see went out today.
So you see, this is like one of these things with, like when you're in the heat of the moment, you got the cameras in front of you and the microphone's there, and you find your way down halfway down a rabbit hole, you think, oh, fuck. Why do we still call them tweets?
Well, what do you? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we moved to
X's. Calling them X's.
Yeah, but
is that what they'll be called on X?
It's so like I don't think he thought about that when he decided to change the name.
No, I don't think he cares.
I don't think he cares.
Billions of dollars.
Yeah, I think he's moved on.
I'm actually segueing yourself into the next segment we're doing, Dan.
Very good, because we're going to read some new tweets. Wow, I just thought you wanted to chat about Twitter.
I do.
But in this regard, so what happened on the weekend?
I love that it happens.
You went out on Saturday, went to a birthday party. Sunday, sorry.
Saturday I was calling the game. And then you
was
abused on social media.
We've discussed this.
Which is brilliant.
We've discussed how you shouldn't do this, like drunk tweet. It's like not a good opportunity, like not a good thing. Actually, I think that's probably a good rule for things that we do on BackChat, like Instagram.
Don't do them drunk.
Don't do them drunk.
I have more fun though.
Your filter goes out the window.
Yeah.
And you start to reply to people. I was laughing on the weekend because I often will just put something out there, a bit of a nade, and then you just leave people to their own devices.
Yes.
In this regard, you thought, I'm going to go back at a few people.
I naded them, and then I thought,
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling a few people out.
Yeah, real lowbrow stuff as well.
Oh yeah, it's always lowbrow. I mean, it's not a group of scholars over on Twitter. Like it's a complete shit show.
For those watching on YouTube, we're going to put some of the tweets up on the screen. I'm going to read them out as well for the people listening along. Jules, hit us with.
Are you going to read them or am I reading them? I thought I was reading them.
Or maybe can I have a read of them as well? Because it's like,
Okay.
are you can read the first one.
Okay.
You
It's
said
almost like you didn't think about this segment.
No, that's right.
Okay.
Right here. Here you go. You want to read that one out to yourself?
Will Schofield is getting paid to support his team on a national broadcast. Genuinely awful commentator. Adds absolutely nothing to it.
50,000 views that had.
Did it?
It had 546 likes.
Right.
64.
So that
64.
tells me that 500 people don't like that tweet.
That's
Eh?
true. Yep.
Right.
The ratio of views to likes.
I did
significantly
see a bit of this corner of this thread going off at some stage.
So there's 64
Started
people.
by a Collingwood supporter, so I reckon it's a little
Danza.
bit skewed to people that don't like me anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. You do copy
Shit
from
name as
Collingwood
well,
people.
Dan.
Danza. Here we go. Is this a reply to that thread, Nick? Yeah, here we go. Someone just replied that said Schofield is a peanut.
Yeah, that is very good.
14 views on that one.
Highbrow there from JM974565. Fucking, as everyone knows, it's very.
Can I also read this one?
Yeah, you can do what you like.
Willie J. Franco says he adds no value to the broadcast. He was a mediocre defender in a successful team. Better off asking Basil to commentate than a nose emoji.
So do you know what I mean about this? So like get Basil to commentate. Do you understand the difference between special comments and commentary? Like Basil does play by play. It wouldn't make any sense. Elon fuck in brackets alpha male. Like that's what we're dealing with here.
These
so
are the
people
people.
get on here. So leave this here. So players that come out and say, "Oh, people are abusing me about how shit I played on the weekend." So I've effectively gone out and had a bit of a shit one in the commentary box.
Yeah.
If I'm a player and I'm reading this, I reckon some players get offended by this. Elon fuck alpha male brackets. Like, can you imagine what this person fucking looked like? Like, who this person is?
Yeah. Like,
Imagine who this person is.
Well, they're just the ultimate coward because they can't even put their real name and real face on the
I
top.
like it. I know they're not a
profile.
coward, mate. They can do what the fuck they want.
Nah, it's coward
like,
behaviour.
No. See, like, this is the thing. We don't need to, like, get all, like, hurt about comments on Twitter. It's hilarious. Give me another one. I want to read one. Life is good from You Scandal. He can't commentate anyways. Lucky to be there.
He's not commentating.
No, I'm not. No, special comments. But, I mean, I am lucky to be there. Yeah, I am. I'm very grateful to be in the Fox Footy. Speaking into your ears. Yes, next. Ash, Darty Orse 87. Fuck me. Before even reading, I can't. Darty Orse. With the dog as a picture. Like, it's absolute fucking garbage. Fox Sport is playing this, Claire. Oh, I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, do I need to get into that?
Nah.
Fox Sport doesn't pay me. Anyway.
No, that's fine.
Okay. What have we got? Come on, give you some.
Oh, he's
Dan,
up
you
there
run
with
through.
the worst of them from Rousey. Simon Lange _20. Sorted out Fox Footy. He's tagged him.
Thanks, Langy.
He's hopeless. He's just tagged.
Good.
It's easily the worst in a sea of shockers. I think they're referring to your call about the saying that it shouldn't be reported or something. He's disgraceful. He's disgraceful. They just copied that.
He's disgraceful. We'll go back. See, Dan, you see, I can feel the awkwardness in you reading this. So I don't want you reading them. You're like, oh my God, he's disgraceful. Give me the fucking tweets. Read them out properly. Give it to me. Give them to me. Next one. Give them to me. Okay, Mick Cockring. This wimp Will Schofield. Oh, he tagged me. Good man.
There you go.
This wimp Will Schofield led the charge to publicly hang Maynard after his football act on Brayshaw. No, I fucking didn't, Mick. No, I didn't. Okay, but we'll take that. Now he is literally dancing on it, defending Harley Reid and victim blaming Darcy Wilson. Just swap out HR to BM and DW to AB and have a read through the thread. What is fucking happening right now? Cheers, Mick.
I do agree with the just swap HR to BM and DW to AB. Like, that's pretty valid.
What's that mean?
I have no clue.
Okay, great. Harley Reid to Braden Maynard. Oh, so you ran out of characters, Mick. Bad luck, buddy.
Pay
Next
for
one.
premium.
Next one. Okay.
Oh, this is a reply to this tweet.
Calling Schoey a wimp is the ultimate in keyboard warrior. He was actually taking hits in the game while you squeezed into your extra wide couch, Twitter in hand. Mick comes back. He's not going to shag you, you wimp. Here's Mick. Fuck, is that it? Is that the best of the best? I mean, that's why I think you gotta have a laugh sometimes. Like, people just love fucking blowing up about it. The tweet that I did when I was half cut has had 250,000 views on it. People, mate, people just fucking.
You know what is what I like about this little segment that we've done? We've read out some of the tweets. If people are watching along that have tweeted it to you in the past with this, they know, like, well, these are getting to you. Because, like, sometimes it feels pointless tweeting at someone like that. Oh, they're not going to read it anyway. There you go.
Do you think that's a positive thing or a negative thing?
Don't know. That's up for you. Like, it's response to you. Do you like reading them?
No, as in, like, you just said, like.
Oh, it might encourage more because they're like, oh, great, he reads this.
So do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. Gets more engagement.
Yeah.
The thing is, every time someone replies to a tweet, it goes around to more people. Like,
yeah,
that's how the algorithm works.
It'd be like, I'm not doing it for engagement. I don't do tweet. I don't get anything from my Twitter engagement. Nothing happens.
No.
So literally nothing happens.
It's just fun.
It's absolutely great fun.
It's just fun.
I feel like I've introduced you to the world of Twitter and X, and like maybe the ability to be out. Like, I still think you're way behind me in not being offended by some of that stuff.
I could not care. It's not directed at me. I could not care.
I know, but if it's directed at you, you get a little bristly still.
Who, me?
Yeah.
On my Twitter?
Yeah.
No,
you don't reply back. But
no, I reply back to everything.
Yeah, no, but you get maybe a little bit hurt by some things that come across the table.
Nah.
Okay, hero.
I'm a legend.
Okay, play the tap touch thing, please.
You've got the touch.
You got the power.
Yeah, sure. Why not? There you go. Oh, no, you're right. Hi, tap touch.
There we go.
Great to be with you. Now, Hamish Brayshaw is playing in a game of football and he is in control of the algorithm.
Yes, he has the password. It's like one of those machines where you have to put your handprint down, and we try to get into it and just kept getting the wrong thing. So we couldn't get in.
Okay, great. BackChat Backman of the Year, brought to you by Tab Touch, is on hold until tomorrow. You got to watch us on socials. If you don't follow us, BackChat _. A little update on the scoreboard right now. Harris Andrews leads all comers 11. Alex Pearce is on 9. Sam Collins is on 7. Jacob Wiedering 5. Tom Barris 5. Jack Buckley 4 in equal 5th position.
I would assume, I haven't seen the algorithm, haven't seen what's happening, but Alex Pearce could be up for some votes. I mean, they beat Melbourne pretty convincingly.
Yeah, you got to be out. Yeah, I mean, they defended well. Yeah, Tom Barris was very, very, very good.
Tom Barris very good. Harris Andrews
didn't see the Brisbane game.
Didn't see that either.
Yeah, you know why?
Because it was a bye.
Fucking, why'd you say Harris Andrews? Can you stop picking through these, please? Well, I've got something for you, ladies and gentlemen, so don't worry about the BackChat Backman of the Year. That'll be out tomorrow on social media. We may have done the greatest thing to have ever happened to this podcast last week. Sitting around, having a bit of a creative brainstorm. We came up with the idea that we might add a bunch of defenders, one from each team, exactly. And we may or may not have used our BackChat Backman of the Year from each club, our sponsored athletes, and put them in an Instagram group chat. No desire to get anything from it. Actually, no idea where it was going to go. We just thought, let's put them all together. And at the very least, we wanted to send them some merch.
Oh, yeah. We just wanted some details from them. Hey, guys, love what you do. Big fans of you're obviously our sponsored athletes. Let's send you some merch. Maybe send you some beer if you want to do that too. And then
what has happened?
Yeah.
What has actually happened? It may be it may be the exact reason why I exist as a human being. It has just been phenomenal buy-in from the group of players within this thread. And as much as I'd love to be able to give you exact messages from exact players, I can't. However, I want to give you a little bit of insight into the commentary team on Sunday afternoon football or whatever the fuck.
We also, and again, I don't want to name any names.
Thanks, Basil.
I don't want to name any names, but there was one backman in particular who very early on got involved and I think helped start the sort of floodgates of great responses.
So the great quote about leadership that I'm not going to be exactly tell you what it is. The greatest leaders are actually followers, right? So if you've got there's a video, right? There's one person dancing by themselves on a hill, right?
Yep.
So the most important leader, the question is it the person dancing by themselves on the hill, just like carrying on like a pork chop? It's not. One person joins that person. So then you got two people standing there dancing, right?
Yep.
Which is the formation of a group, but it's still two people. So that's good leadership by the second person to come in and do that, to say, hey, this is what we need here. But the most important form of leadership is the next 10 people into that, the full buy-in.
Right.
Right? Because that lets everyone know, right, we can do this.
We're here.
Right? So without those 10 people, it's still just two people standing there, but they need full buy-in. So we had the person dancing by themselves, which is probably us, putting the BackChat group together.
True.
We had the person come in and give us a bit of a
Bit of a
lead.
spark.
Right? So he came in and gave his nickname,
Yep.
his strengths and weaknesses as a backman.
Yes.
And it turned into a shit show. We have players from all across the competition in this one. And I want to give you a bit of an insight into what was going on in there. So I'm not even going to read the nickname because I don't want anyone to be able to figure out who's been writing
Yes,
this.
especially if
that's
there's
okay.
fans that know that this is a nickname that goes
But you
around,
got to
so-
understand this is a group of backmen.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the backs that's in the group kicked a goal on the weekend, and I just slipped in there like, it's not that hard forwards. Like kick it through the big sticks. Like it's pretty easy done if you don't mind. And it got a good round of applause from a lot of respect. It's just a bunch of respect, just talking about things that only backs do. So I've got a couple of these that are just strengths and weaknesses from some of our boys. Okay, strengths: can sniff a meat pie from the center of the G, ski roping half forwards, landing on my back. Weaknesses: skimfold calipers. Literature.
This is my favourite one.
And popcorn, slippery hands.
In brackets, slippery hands. That's that good.
Strengths, paying fines to the AFL. This is the second one. Guarding space and shouting orders. Weaknesses, playing on an opponent, giving away free kicks for indiscretions against small forwards, being a tight ass. And then strengths from this one. A big set of mangoes, shit chat on the field, very good at that. Weaknesses, kicking, marking, smart forwards, and very injury prone. It's just bloody brilliant stuff. So we will bring you the BackChat Backman of the Year a little bit later on, but there's a bit of insight from that. We might keep bringing you some of those.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. Hopefully more comes from that as well.
So we did have another bet on this week with Tab Touch. Our good friends at Tab Touch back the Backman for a third week in a row. Backman have let us down, got to be honest.
Yep.
And for a third week in a row, they've just let one off the hook.
Just let one.
So it's a team defense and it's a back six. As we know, back six get chicks, back six win premierships. That's right. All right. That's we do know that.
Yep.
We've just got to get better at stopping one player from kicking 3 goals.
Do we need to change anything about this before we continue?
I did a fair bit of research into this before we started doing this.
Okay.
In the games before St Kilda, who we've actually backed twice in 2 separate games to not have a player.
Not
to kick
high-scoring teams,
3+
usually.
goals. They'd only done it once for the rest of the year, and they've now done it back to back on us, right? So
are they due not to?
I think we're going to stay. I think we're going to stay the course. You know what's going to happen if we don't do it this week. We're going to win the bet.
Yeah, that's true.
So thanks to Tab Touch,
Okay,
there will be a
going
back-to-backman market. You make sure you download the Tab Touch app today for free and confidential support. Call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. You win some, you lose more. Time for the BackChat back page. Oh, yes. Welcome to the BackChat back page where we bring you all the news that you didn't need to know about the AFL. Some of this is just garbage. I can't believe people write it. St Kilda played the West Australian at their own game with alternate back page. Oh, a bit cheeky wasn't Kilda. St Kilda have raised the stakes for their clash with West Coast in Perth on Saturday, creating an alternate back page inspired by the West Australian. WA's most prominent newspaper, their only newspaper, has become known for its cheeky back page backing the Eagles and the Dockers against their rivals. No, they fucking don't. That's not what they're known for. They basically just put Harley Reid on there. We never see the Dockers on there. And every now and then they'll try and provoke someone who's travelled to the state, like whether it be a national cricket team or a UFC fighter or... Correct?
Yes, correct.
But the Saints social media team attempted to turn the tables on Saturday, releasing a mock back page featuring Darcy Wilson and Eagles star Harley Reid on their X, formerly known as Twitter, account. So they did this before the game.
Wow, that's poetic.
They wished this into existence.
It's the West's fault.
The main headline reads, "The Darce and the Furious." pitting the two young giants against each other with a photoshopped image of the pair rising out of the picturesque Optus Stadium. They even went as far as creating a strap featuring Rowan Marshall at the bottom of the page. What's a strap? In other news, we fucking hate each other, says Jack Ginnivan. Teammate post causes a stir. Hawthorn's Jack Ginnivan has raised eyebrows with a public message to his teammate after wild incident. What do they do? Fucking fight a boar in the fucking mountains of Borneo? Jack Ginnivan doesn't appear to have been able to help himself again. What the fuck? Why are we attacking Jack Ginnivan? The Hawthorn forward on Saturday night caused a stir with a message shared on Twitter where he responded to a post made by Willmate. I was trying to get there before this did this. Let's go again. By a post made by teammate Will Day following the Hawks' big win over Adelaide. Ginnivan popped up in one of the biggest moments of the game and was clearly pumped when he kicked a goal on the brink of three-quarter time. Ginnivan's teammates, including Day, were just as fired up as the former Collingwood star after the goal. Day was seen pushing and shouting in Ginnivan's face as teammates ran in to congratulate the small forward. Are they saying they got in a fight?
It looked like it. Have you seen it?
No.
You should watch it.
Far out. One shove knocked Ginnivan backwards in the eyebrow-raising encounter, and it prompted Day to address it after the game. So tell me what happened.
So everyone's celebrating around Guinea, right? And Day's walked up to him and given him one of the, you probably call him UMF, he's pumping him up. He's, so aggressive, punching him and shouting in his face. It looks like, if you don't know the context of, that sort of thing that happens in sports,
they're fighting.
It looks like they were fighting.
This is a quote from Day on social media. Love this guy. Just a fired up celebration. Chill, OTTNO. Fuck's that mean?
On to the next one.
On to the next one, Day wrote. Ginnivan's cheeky response has the one that's got tongues wagging, though, despite appearing to be a clear case of stirring the pot. We fucking hate each other, Jack Ginnivan wrote.
That's good.
That comment has been seen by more than 100,000 fans on X. And to finish off the BackChat back page, Richmond's Marlon Pickett will receive a please explain, oh no, from the AFL after he made an obscene gesture towards the Geelong crowd at GMHBA Stadium on Saturday night. The Tigers went down by 30 points at the hands of the Cats, falling away late in the second half as Geelong piled 10 goals to 3 after half-time. A clearly frustrated Pickett was hobbling off the ground after sustaining a calf injury when he was allegedly thrown verbal abuse from fans in the crowd. Pickett quickly reacted with a gesture that has left the league unhappy. Oh, you should have killed the music. You should have killed the music. Very good. So what's he done? He's given them the bird. He's given them the bird, hasn't he?
I haven't seen.
Obscene gesture. I'm sure he has.
Yeah,
he's given them the bird.
Unless he's doing gang signs or something.
Nah, I think he's given them the bird.
I'm trying to find this Ginnivan video for you, but it's essentially what I explained. Just a hateful pushing.
Hate pushing.
Hate pushing.
Yeah, great. Unreal. Our footy tips, thanks to the Alfred.
I got 2 on the weekend.
$250 voucher. I got to be honest.
You didn't tip.
I've stopped doing them.
You stopped doing tips?
Stopped about 4 weeks ago.
But what about the voucher? Don't you want to win the voucher?
I'm not eligible for the voucher. No,
right.
Never have been. And neither are you.
Damn it.
It means absolutely nothing.
I'm just putting this on the record now. I probably could have told you this 8 weeks ago. Tipping only the home team just doesn't work. It's not an effective way of tipping. That was my thing.
Mine's the favourites.
See, you should be doing that for science.
Footy tips thanks to the Alfred. $250 voucher. Grizz. Just says Grizz here. Slam Dunk McGurk, I think this is who it's be. This is Ryan B. 7 out of 7, a margin of 9.
Well done.
Thanks for coming. $250 voucher. Talking about thanks for coming. Who wants to fucking take us to the Alfred?
Yeah, so my message that I said on the podcast last week was received loud and clear from the guy, Ryan, who had won the voucher. He said, I heard about you talking about the podcast. I'm really sorry. Can we do it on Friday? I said, well, I'm not going to be here.
We do a fucking live show on Fridays, Ryan, and I work until 8 p.m, so no.
Yeah, so I think he's fine. He's deliberately picking times that he knows we can't do.
How about we do it Monday at 4:30?
Yeah.
Maybe Friday at 4:30.
Hey, guys, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
When do West Coast play at the weekend? Oh, let's do it at that time. That is us done and dusted on this WA day. Daniel Const.
Yeah,
it's been
well
an absolute
done.
pleasure to be with you, mate.
of course. Public holiday, double time. Right? We get double pay.
Well, no.
Oh.
No, that's not how
What?
that works. Well, you pay you, so it's kind of how that works. VIPs, good to be seeing you over on Patreon. Lots of good stuff over there. Make sure you sign up and get that done. We've got a Socceroo on the podcast this week.
Yes.
Cam Burgess joins us from
Great.
Ipswich City, who just got promoted to the EPL.
In some positive news, been promoted.
What's that from?
The Office. Where he tells everyone that the office is shutting down. He's like, but in some positive news, been promoted.
Classic. Very good. You're going to do that when we fire everyone here. Hello at backchatpodcast.com.au. Backchat _ on socials.
Can I throw a spanner in the works? Yeah, can I throw a spanner in the works? We need to give away some tickets to the Socceroos, don't we?
Oh.
We've got tickets to go.
Fuck me. We've got tickets to go to the Socceroos. Palestine next Tuesday. So you need to sign up on our website, which is not built at the moment. backchatstudios.com.au. There will be a sign-up form there, I don't know, within about an hour of the podcast dropping.
Yeah.
So if you want to hang around for that, we have lots of tickets.
We'll post it on socials.
We have lots of tickets to give away.
So many.
All you have to do is enter. We're going to spin a big wheel and give them away.
So easy.
So Palestine, Australia, Socceroos, of course, haven't played here since 2016.
Yep.
It'll be HBF Park. There's some superstars playing.
It'll actually be a good good time out.
I'm going, and I'll likely be sitting in some of the seats we're giving away. So you can come and watch soccer with me.
Great. That's a pretty good deal.
Are you going to come?
Yeah, I will be. I'll be there.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
So
do you have any
how
other
many tickets have we got?
obligations there? Do you have any other obligations
No,
there?
so we're going to have something on the website. Put in your email, your name. There's no like a page, tag your friend, share it with three. It's none of that. Just go on the website, put your email address in. We're going to draw it out of
No fucking around.
wheel. Yeah, none of that.
No fucking around.
Get you free tickets to go to the Palestine v Socceroos game.
Bloody brilliant. I think we are done now.
Yeah, we're done.
Well done. Good save, Dan.
Thanks.